Hey everybody, welcome back. I am so excited today to be sitting here with one of the executive producers of the film. I want to call it an international film because that's exactly what it is. Moonheart, Corazón de la Luna, Julio Wissar. How are you doing today?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for
Good.
having me.
Oh my God, it's such an honor to meet you. I saw the film and it is brilliant. It is captivating. And like I said earlier, we're going to jump into this in this conversation, but it truly is an international film. Um, why do you feel like, why did your team feel like it was so important for us to see this message?
Well, the film deals with a person that actually nobody sees, in our society, which is the person that lives on the streets, a homeless woman, and we felt that that connects not only with the situation we have right now in Lima, Peru, but it also connects with the situation that's going on all over the world. And I think it's a very interesting and personal way to show a story through storytelling and visuals, with no dialogue, because that makes it, I think, more personal. Anybody from any country can understand it because it's a universal language. Film is a universal language. And I think the story can speak to anybody who's been in a big city, And right now that I've been in LA for the last couple of days, I've been seeing a lot of the same things I see in Peru, and I think it's an important message to give right now.
Yeah, I was watching the film, and of course, we're in LA. And we deal with a lot of homelessness, and just across the board with social media, firsthand, we see a lot of mental health issues, and
Yeah.
all of this is coming to light. And so I felt the film was so powerful in the fact that you did it so perfectly, the way you story told with no words, which I know that process must have been difficult. Tell me about that process of getting the film made without even having to say a word and being able to transpire this.
Yeah, the process of making the film, I mean, from my point of view, because I'm the executive producer, it's very hard to approve in Peru a movie that it's, they tell you, hey, I'm going to make this movie, has no dialogue, and think about that, how difficult it is to say, hey, we're going to go forward with this idea when you don't know what's going to happen when you put it on a movie theater, if people are going to react positively for the movie or not, or it's going to be something that they don't understand. But since Aldo Salvini is the director, he's a director, has a cult following in Peru after his short films in the 90s, and he's been doing this stuff, this type of stories for years, talking about the invisible people in Peru, So when Aldo came with the script, we knew that we had to make this movie the way that it was meant to be done, with no dialogues, with Aide as the actress, as the main actress and as the only actress in the movie, and that made it a lot easier, because if it came from somebody else, we probably would have said, I don't think this movie, it's possible to make it, in those terms. But because it was Aldo Salvini, we decided to go with the movie. And I mean, it was an amazing experience. The whole thing has been an amazing experience from beginning to end.
Yeah, and that's the key point, right? Teamwork makes a dream work. You have to have a team
Yeah.
you trust to be able to produce something like this. You talk about having no language in the no words in the film, which is why we call this an international film, because anybody can watch it and understand and get the message. What do you think was or what can you say was the hardest selling point with getting this film done and just getting it out into the market?
Well, when you have a film that has no dialogue, it has one main character, and the other, supporting characters are an ant and a giant robot, I mean, it's very difficult from any point, to try to sell this, but at the same time, it makes it unique, So if you see the poster, it gives you an idea of what we're trying to do here, If you hear the storyline, you're like, or the short synopsis, you're like, okay, this sounds interesting, But then, like I said before, when you see the movie, you connect with the character on an emotional level, and I think that's the best selling point, because once anybody gets to see the movie, they're going to talk to the next person and they're going to be like, look, you have to watch this movie. It's something really different and it connects on a personal level,
Yeah.
So after getting that first, marketing and publicity part, once it goes to the movie theaters, I think that's the part that is starting going and going up and up and up because of the word of mouth, So it was hard at the beginning, but once we got to the festival part of it, because we started winning the London Sci-Fi Film Festival, and it just exploded, by itself, because people wanted to watch the movie.
Yeah. You talk about films. The Oscars is every film's hope. How has it been getting this film into the running?
Oh, it's been an amazing surprise, because, I mean, you never know, right? I mean, you make a movie, you wish the best, for the team and for the actors and for the director. But then you get the call, you're like, you have been pre-selected to represent Peru for the 23 Oscars, 2023 Oscars. And you're like, what? Are you for real? We're doing this? And so everybody was, you can imagine, super excited, and it's a great opportunity, and it's really an honor being in this time, being pre-selected and not knowing what's going to happen next. I mean, we're very happy just to be in the journey.
Exactly. Just to be in the running is such a blessing.
Yes, of course. I'm honored, actually.
Yeah, what an
the
honor.
Whole team, yeah.
Yeah, congratulations to you and the team. I want to go back to, you mentioned there's 3 characters, right? You have the lead character, you have an ant, and you have this giant robot. I love the robot, but I need to know, why a robot? What was
well, look, it was in the script, okay? You would have to ask Aldo, but I can give you like a short answer. The director, well, he's been obsessed as I am. That's why I approved the idea of the robot. With Japanese, the genre TV shows from the 60s and 70s, like Ultraman and Ultra 7 and everything that has to do with, those giant robots, fighting and everything. And we always thought there was like a deep connection with that culture, that part of the Japanese culture, and what we saw as kids in Peru, because in Peru we saw lots of Japanese television, so we watched all these shows. But we wanted to make a robot, that's the Jaguar bot, that's his name, that was based on Peruvian mythology, So we took the elements from the Japanese TV shows and we developed our own version of a robot that existed on Peru in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and it was a TV show that was part of the things, our main character saw when she was a little younger, So it's its own thing. It's a mixture of Japanese, Peruvian culture, and it has its own thing going on. Everybody loves the Jaguar bot.
Yeah, we love the robot. I absolutely loved it. But I'm like, how did we get a robot in this film? It was perfect, but I needed to talk to you. I'm sitting down with the executive producer. I need to know, how do we get this robot in this film? The ending, I'm not going to give it away, but it was definitely a very beautiful, heartfelt ending. Was there ever a time during the filmmaking process where you had a different ending, or was this just how you guys envisioned it and you went for it and it just worked out perfectly?
Aldo had a first draft of the script, of the story, that he shared with us, and it's been evolving ever since, even to the point that the first day of shooting, we still were moving some things around. But the ending was always the ending, that was always there. Maybe it was a little different, I'm not going to say too much about it, but it was always, the idea was always to end like that, So, and I'm glad it's this way, because that's the way, you get the best impact of what the story is trying to say,
Yes, exactly. And with that message, one final question here. We keep talking about the message and the homelessness and just shining light and, the mental health. You personally, why is this film so important for it to be seen around the world?
I think because it's simple, you watch movies to connect with people, it's something that, Aldo, he does his thing, and he's not worried about what people are going to think, but he knows there's a message that you have to decipher, you know, and I think that's the beauty of it, that some people come out and they get touched by the story, you know, and some people come out and they say, oh, it's talking about something that's going on in my world or in my country, and other people just get the whole thing, you know, and they're like, okay, this could help, you know, deal with some issues that are going on right now, you know. And I think that's the beauty of it, just to watch people, you know, come out of the movie theater and be like, you know what, your movie hit me, you know, and I'm going to tell you why. And every time it's something different, you know, and that's the beauty of the story, because not having dialogue, it's an advantage actually, because it lets you come up with your own theories of what's going on or how it's going to affect you.
Yeah, exactly. I know for myself watching it, I definitely came out with something. So I congratulate you for putting together an amazing film with your amazing team and creating something
Thank you.
which is everybody on a different level. No matter what path we're going through or what country we're in, it's something that we can all connect to and gather something out of this amazing film. So congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Again, thank you for joining us today. Executive producer Julio Wissar, Corazón de la Luna. Make sure you guys.
Corazón de la Luna.
Corazón de
Thank
la
you so much for having me.
Luna. Un
Thank
placer.
you. It was a pleasure.
The best wishes to you.